Hey guys, I hope you are all doing great. I'm going to try to make this quick. Just some updates that we have talked about in grading that will pertain to their fourth 9-week averages. First of all, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, when people ask how quarantine's going, yeah, that's pretty much how it's going for me. Hope y'all feel the same. You're just working. Okay, so these are the things I'm going to discuss right quick. Distance learning extension, dates on our school calendar, assignment grades and weights, and then the last thing, you can't see it behind my little camera, is ASOP. So first of all, I hope you got the notification yesterday from Dr. Kalos that all of our distance learning has been extended until May the 4th. That is the date that the governor put in place. We're going to continue doing 2 grades per week. So 2 assignments per week. If you choose to put out some extension assignments or lessons out there, you can, but don't have those count for grades. Those are just if the students want some extra things to do. Now, Coach Jones, this applies just for you because, oh boy, we won't have to do the fitness gram this year, said every middle school student, because no, they've waived the fitness gram. So don't have to worry about that. All right, dates on our school calendar. There we go. Okay. Dates on school calendar. Nope, go back. All right. We need to adhere to our calendar date. So that means Good Friday is April the 10th. We had a bad weather day scheduled for April 13th. So do not have assignments for those dates. Do take into consideration both of those weeks will be 4-day weeks for students. We will still, though, have the 2 assignments due each one of those weeks. So for the distance learning, when you're establishing those due dates, which we're going to talk about due dates in just a second, keep in mind for students to, have those particular days where they won't be working on those days, nor should you. And then food service, in case anybody asks you, we will not be serving lunches or breakfasts on the days where we would be out for school. So there will not be any lunch or breakfast served on Good Friday, nor on the following Monday, which would have been a bad weather day. All right, assignment guidelines. This has kind of changed based on feedback we've been getting from parents after the first few days of the distance learning. So, starting next week, they would like for all assignments for the week need to be posted by 8 a.m. each Monday. I know some people were doing like Monday, Wednesday was your assignment, and then Thursday, Saturday was your assignment. They want them all rolled out at the same time by 8 o'clock on Monday morning. So that's both assignments. The due dates, all assignments for the week, they would like your due date to be due that following Sunday. So you give it Monday, it's due that next Sunday. The Sunday due date is a change based on feedback from the parents because we have some families that only have one car. And so they're having to go to a hotspot if they don't have internet multiple times. And if they have multiple kids in the household and this one has assignments due on this day or lessons being thrown. So it's just kind of created kind of a problem for some families. So to respect their, you know, problems with vehicles and hotspots and things like that, we're going to try to accommodate. And then the last thing is please make sure, and I think y'all are doing a great job of this, please adhere to those 30-minute lessons. The assignments that you're putting out there should only last approximately 30 minutes for your average student to complete. So like if we have students that have 3 secondary kids, everything they do is coming from Google Classroom. And so if they don't have a car and they're having to share and go to a hotspot, that's a lot for them. So just keep in mind, like I said, I think on this campus, y'all are doing a great job of adhering to those 30-minute lessons. Mm, okay, there we go. Okay, so this is regarding grades for the fourth 9 weeks. You need to make sure that you're still putting in grades in your grade book for those 2 assignments per week. For right now, if you have problems with kids getting assignments turned in, you need to make sure that you are contacting parents. You need to be documenting that contact. You need to try to contact them multiple times. I know that's a lot, but just in the situation that we're in, that's what we have to do. We're having to become a team with these parents to provide the instruction that you're putting out there. So for right now, put an M in your grade book, which denotes that that assignment is missing. In the leadership meeting tomorrow, we will be discussing at what point you change those M's to zeros. We're not going to worry about taking points off for it being late. It's either they've turned it in, this is their grade, or they did not. At the end of the fourth 9 weeks, it will result in just a pass fail grade for students at our grade level. However, we do not want the students or parents to know that, because if they know that, then they're not going to be completing the assignments or not doing them to their full potential. So, of course, it would be considered a pass if their average for the fourth 9 weeks is above a 70. If it is a 69 or below, that would be a fail for the fourth 9 weeks. So you've got to make sure that you've got those grades in your grade book to justify the pass or the fail that you give them. This second one right here, this pertains to students that we have that failed the first semester, have not been doing well third 9 weeks, and potentially could fail for the year. Remember, students in our core subjects have to have a 70 average for the year. So those students that are in risk of not having a 70 for the year, we have to provide projects for them to complete in order to make up a kind of, I guess, like extra credit, I guess you would say, to try to see if they can get that grade to passing. So those of you, I have the list right here of those who failed for the first semester. And then I have a list for the ones who failed for the third 9 weeks. If those kids are in risk of not passing for the year, and again, instructional coaches and Barbie are kind of working on this right now. You will be having to do projects. Those projects will be individualized based on the weaknesses of that student. It's not going to be go on and complete X amount of questions in Edmentum or X amount of questions in IXL. Um, so the guidelines for that is if their average is a 65 to a 69, they will complete one project. If the average is 60 to 64, it would be 2 projects, and then it would keep going. A 55 to a 59 would be 3 projects. Okay, but more information for that will be coming. All right, absences and ASOP. If you are not able to provide instruction on a particular day, just like if you were not going to be at school, you still need to enter that into ASOP. However, some of you had put in absences in ASOP, for example, like Coach Jones with track meets. Miss Hyler, I know you had tennis games and meets and things that you were going to. So if they were previously in there and you no longer will need those days in the system, I need you to send me an email for me with stating the date and the reason it needs to be deleted, and then I will get that taken off into ASOP. So if you will just put that in writing for me, I will be able to do that. I know like a couple of people had some things scheduled for later, and they did send me emails just asking about them. So those should be okay. Other than that, I know that for the most part, I hear most of you, things are going smoothly. Um, we just need to make sure that we are making that parent contact if we are not getting grades from students, because again, as educators, we have to show that we are doing everything we can to provide an education. So if we are not able to show that and have that documented, then there might, I don't know what they would do, but there might be things we have to answer for. So if you have kids that you're not getting work from, contact the other teachers as well. I don't know if everybody's using that spreadsheet that Miss England shared out. where you could document you're contacting a kid. These are the things that were found. If you consistently, all the teachers cannot get a hold of someone, you need to then let me know that so that I can try to help on my end. Miss Newmeyer, I'll go ahead and tell you the student that you reached out for to me about. I am working on that during lunch pickup today. There's a family that often provides a ride for that student, and so I talked to them and they're working on getting me the correct contact information and having mom contact me. So I'm going to take care of that one. Also know that you may see new students on your rosters as we get new students enrolled. Right now, we are giving them paper copies, but you will need to kind of reach out when you get that information. Make contact with that student and those parents, letting them know who you are, what you teach, how to get into Google Classroom if they have a device, and all of that kind of thing. So again, I appreciate everything that you're doing. These are just, I never thought we'd be in this boat. So I know it's hard balancing everything that you're doing with the amount of students you're contacting and parents you're working with, but I appreciate what you're doing. If there's anything that you need from me, feel free to call me, email me. I'm here every day from 8. It's supposed to only be till 12, but I'm usually here till 3, 3:30, 4. So you can always call me on my office phone. My cell phone, with all this going on, I'm not getting great reception. So the office phone is 903-873-3617, and then my extension is 7301. So feel free to do that. Otherwise, I've tried to keep this short to the point. I will be sending out a Google form for you to complete. We'll use that as your signature that you understand the grading policy that is put in place. Again, I will have a place on there for questions. If you have a question you want to submit, feel free to do that. And I miss you. This place is like eerie, creepy sometimes. But anyway, let me know how I can help you. Let me know that everything's going okay. I hope you stay healthy. If you have any issues that come up where you need us to pray for your family members or pray for things that are going on, just feel free to let me know and I can get the word out. Love you all. And I hope you have a great day.